Have we done a good job when our audience listens to us throughout our entire speech? No, I don't believe so. Because here's what most speakers don't know. It's not good enough for our audience to listen to us. Our job is to get them to listen to themselves. Instead of simply getting them to listen to us, we need to get them to think about themselves and how they'll use our processes, or our formulas, our recipes, our toolkits, or our advice to improve their own lives. In other words, we have to get them to reflect and not just to listen and regurgitate. If they're not thinking about how they'll apply our message, guess what? They won't apply it. So listen to this quick live example of how I get my audience to reflect on their own lives.
And all these books led to more and more and more. And the reason why I was able to win the World Championship of Public Speaking out of 175,000 people, 68 countries, 25,000 contestants, is because by the time I got on stage in front of 2,000 people in Chicago, Illinois, at the World Championships with 5 to 7 minutes that could make or break my career, I had visited that place so many times, by the time I got there physically, it was like deja vu. That's French. Any Canadians in here? Oh, I got to say it in English, too, then. It's a rule. Felt like I had been there before. All right. I had stepped on that stage visually at least 1,000 times. I'm sure you did the same thing. 1,000 times. And by the time I got there physically, it honestly felt like I was at home. My question to you is, in whatever arena you are in, what stage are you stepping on at least 1,000 times? What stage are you stepping on at least 1,000 times? Because I can almost guarantee you, you'll get there. And more importantly, when you get there, you'll be able to receive it. Because you'll feel like you're at home.
Welcome back. So what are the keys to getting your audience to reflect? Here's the 2-step formula. Step number 1, pick something out of your story. Step number 2, put it in your audience's life and ask them about it. For example, you heard me talk about the stage in my story. I picked the stage out of my story and I asked my audience, what stage are you stepping on at least 1,000 times? So in a sense, I put the stage in their life. Now their stage might be something completely different than mine, but it's important for them to reflect on what that stage actually is for them. Now in a separate story, I talk about a scale that a doctor used to weigh my daughter when she was 6 months old. Well, I then asked my audience, what's your scale? What lets you know whether you're getting better or worse at what you do? Write this down. You master what you measure. And you can't measure without your scale. So what's your scale? So I took something out of my speech, the scale, put it into my audience's life, and asked them about it. So when it comes to how to get your audience to reflect, obviously it's important to ask open-ended questions, powerful ones, throughout your entire speech. They should be strategically placed. But it's also important to take something out of your story or speech, put it into your audience's life, and ask them about it. When you make your audience reflect, you have the greatest effect. So, I ask you, when you get into your next story, what can you take out of that speech, put into your audience's life, and ask them about? Reflect on that. Until next week, keep speaking up.